Hola, ¿qué tal? In this lesson, we will be learning two words that are a bit tricky to learn, por y para. These two words are prepositions, and in general, prepositions are very idiomatic in every language. That is to say that each language uses prepositions differently, and there is not always a clear rule for predicting which one to use. For example, in the case of por and para, they can both be translated into English as for, but they're not interchangeable, and in other situations, they're translated with completely different prepositions like by, through, and in order to. Rather than learning a rule which would have a ridiculous number of exceptions, you're better off remembering which situations call for which word. Let's learn in which situations we would use por. Situation 1. Duration of time. In this case, por translates to for. Por ejemplo, llamamos una ambulancia y solo esperamos por 5 minutos. We called an ambulance and only waited for 5 minutes. Situation 2. Exchange. In this case, por translates to for in place of, in exchange for. Por ejemplo, ella tiene alergia a la penicilina, entonces la cambiamos por otro antibiótico. She's allergic to penicillin, so we exchanged it for another antibiotic. Otro ejemplo, por $50 más, puedes ver Netflix en tu habitación del hospital. For $50 more, you can watch Netflix in your hospital room. As you can see, the exchange can be monetary or not. Situation 3. Motivation or reason. In this case, por translates to for the sake of, for the reason of doing something. Por ejemplo, camino en vez de manejar un coche, por mi salud y por el medio ambiente. I walk instead of driving a car, for the sake of my health and the environment. Situation 4. Mode of travel, route, or communication. In this case, por translates to by or through. Por ejemplo, la mujer embarazada llega al hospital por taxi, no por ambulancia. The pregnant woman comes to the hospital by taxi, not by ambulance. Otro ejemplo. La mujer entra por la puerta de urgencias y va por ese pasillo directamente a la sala de partos. The woman enters through the emergency door and goes through that hallway directly to the maternity ward. Hablo con mi doctor por la aplicación de Telesalud. I speak with my doctor through the telehealth application. Now let's learn the situation in which we would use para. Situation 1. Deadlines. In this case, para translates to by and for. Por ejemplo, voy a llamar a la farmacia y van a tener tus pastillas para las 3 de la tarde. I'm going to call the pharmacy and they will have your pills by 3 p.m. Situation 2. Recipient beneficiary. In this case, para translates to for. Por ejemplo, la receta es para mi madre, que tiene hipertensión. The prescription is for my mom, who has high blood pressure. Situación 3. Purpose or goal. In this case, para translates to in order to and to. Por ejemplo, para tener buena salud, necesitas comer bien y hacer ejercicio regularmente. In order to have good health, you need to eat well and exercise regularly. Situation 4. Destination of travel. In this case, para translates to for and to. Por ejemplo, la ambulancia sale para la escena del accidente 1 minuto después de la llamada al 911. The ambulance leaves for the scene of the accident 1 minute after the 911 call. Now, let's contrast these situations in order to further differentiate between por and para. Remember, no son intercambiables. They are not interchangeable. Ejemplo 1. Duration of time versus deadline. Debo escribir esa tarea por 2 horas versus debo escribir esa tarea para el lunes. When talking about time, por means a specific amount or duration of time. Para is used for deadlines. Ejemplo 2. Mode of travel versus destination. El autobús va por el centro del pueblo versus el autobús va para el aeropuerto. Por means through and is used for the route. Para means to and is used for a direction or destination. Ejemplo 3. Exchange versus beneficiary. Yo trabajo por Juan versus yo trabajo para Juan. Por in this kind of sentence can mean in place of, which would mean an exchange. You're substituting for Juan at work. When talking about work, para is used to identify your supervisor, the person you work for. The bosses are the beneficiary. Besides all the situations learned, there are also other idiomatic expressions that use por and para. Here they are. Por ahora, por completo, por ejemplo, por eso, por favor, por fin, por lo menos, por si acaso, por supuesto, para empezar, para nada. Since por and para are prepositions, it is important that you learn the set of pronouns that are used in Spanish after prepositions. These are used if you don't want to keep repeating someone's name or the noun that you're talking about. The prepositional pronouns are almost all the same as the subject pronouns, except for the first and second person singular forms. Watch out for accent marks. Spelling counts. Primera persona singular, mí. ¿El regalo es para mí? Segunda persona singular, ti. Sí, es para ti. Tercera persona singular, él, ella, usted. Esta tarjeta de embarcación es para usted. Esta tarjeta es para él. Y la última tarjeta es para ella. Primera persona plural, nosotros, nosotras. Nuestra mamá sacrifica muchísimo por nosotros. Segunda persona plural, solo usada en España. Vosotros, vosotras. Vosotros no podéis hacer el viaje a España, entonces nosotros vamos por vosotros. Tercera persona plural, ellos, ellas, ustedes. ¿Pueden ustedes dar estos regalos a mis sobrinos y mis sobrinas? Estos regalos son para ellos, estos regalos son para ellas y claro, aquí están unos regalos para ustedes. Ojo! The first and second persons singular make a contraction with the preposition con, with, and only that preposition. Instead of con mí and con ti, we say conmigo and contigo, with me and with you. Eso es todo por hoy. Hasta luego.